driving conditions are showing no signs of improvement as PC's Hussain and Glover go back out on patrol.
The roads are still dicey. If it continues with the snow, obviously as the temperature drops, the likelihood is that the surface water on the road will freeze and it can end up like a skating rink.
But it's not the snow and ice which is the immediate problem coming in on the radio.
Just had reports of a vehicle travelling the wrong way on the M42. It appears that he's got on at junction 2 and he's travelling in lane 3, going the wrong way, and he's just gone through junction 3.
CCTV camera operators are monitoring the car's death-defying progress as it drives down the snow-covered third lane towards oncoming traffic.
The last thing you want is something coming the wrong way. If you're doing 70 and he's doing 70, it's 140 mile an hour collision speed. I don't think there'll be any survivors from that sort of speed.
Unless the cops can get to the car, a tragedy seems inevitable. But at this time of night, only 2 police patrols are available.
One car is quite a few miles ahead of us. They're at junction 4, which is 1 junction away from the M40.
At the wheel of that car is PC Paul Clackett.
You get that sort of eerie feeling because car going the wrong way against 3 lanes of traffic that's doing possibly 70 miles an hour. The outcome could be carnage.
While PC Clackett puts his foot down, the car continues its deadly journey, narrowly missing a lorry and forcing it to brake hard.
Luckily, the weather conditions down here are a little bit better. The roads appear to be more wet than snowy.
The plan is a bold one, to stop all the traffic coming in the other direction. But there's a problem.
Highways are going to try and put a close on at 16, but at the moment it's not on. He's still in lane 3 on the M40.
The good news is that PC Clackett has caught up with the car.
This vehicle is still heading down the M40. Our patrol is alongside him now on the correct side of the motorway. We'll obviously try and make him stop.
PC Helen Reynolds is riding with PC Clackett.
He was in lane 3 of the wrong carriageway and we were in lane 3 of obviously the right carriageway, so we were we'd only got the central barrier between us.
And the Highways Agency have succeeded in closing the motorway, so the driver is heading towards stationary traffic.
Sounds like an old gent and he's going towards the closure. I think they managed to close the motorway coming north.
Yeah.
He was just sitting behind his wheel, looking ahead, bimbling along, totally oblivious to the danger that he was in and he was putting other people in.
Ironically, the bad weather may have been a blessing for both the driver and other motorists.
Seems like he's coming to a stop, over.
Sounds like he's coming to a stop. Well, as you can see, he's done quite a distance on the wrong carriageway in lane 3. And more by luck than judgment and the weather, people aren't using lane 3.
But the driver's not a young tearaway. He's an elderly gent.
So it was a case of when he stopped, I opened the car, turned the engine off. Come on, sir, let's get you out the car.
PC's Hussain and Glover have caught up with the car, which is now being driven off the motorway by PC Reynolds, with the elderly gent in the passenger seat.
He's chatting away and he thought it was quite funny that a woman police officer had got in his car and was driving it.
That's the vehicle that's been driven on the wrong way up the motorway. One of our police officers has driven it off. He's probably had another car from you. See what excuse he can come up with.
You all right?
The driver looks bewildered by all the attention.
Let's come forward to our police car, we'll sit you in there and have a chat.
The cops are taking a softly approach.
Mind your hat.
He realised he's gone the wrong way, but he doesn't know what to do about it, he said. He didn't want to turn round. He was looking for a junction and couldn't find a junction, when in fact he has passed several junctions. He's just disorientated.
Right, I'm PC Paul Clackett from the motorway police.
Mm-hmm.
You, talking to my partner, you've got a rough idea of what you've done. Do you? You realise you've come up the motorway the wrong way?
I'd come onto the lane, yes, but I couldn't get on the other lane, of course.
We were trying to find out where he'd come from, or where he'd been, where he lived.
Can you remember your birthday, Eric?
I do.
Jimmy.
It's known as Jimmy.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's the 26th of the 13th of April,
What year?
1917.
1917.
The elderly gent is known as Jimmy, and he's 93 years old.
Are you
Son.
Birmingham born, are you?
I haven't got a Birmingham accent, have I?
Who lives at home with you?
Hmm?
Who lives at home with you?
I live alone now.
Right. Have you got any children, any family?
Oh, yeah.
That live locally?
Yes, I've got...
Whereabouts do they live?
Ted lives at...
Yes, yes.
what's the Dickens name? Number?
Is he on the phone? Have you got a phone number for Ted?
Yeah,
Do you know his phone number?
I did until you went and asked me.
Jimmy, are you under the doctor for anything at the moment? Do you
Get
take
to
any
90,
medication?
93 and you begin to get bits and pieces. I get a bit of breathlessness.
Oh, do you? I do when I've been running after somebody.
Well, you shouldn't run after anybody.
Oh, I know.
I'd
Is
take
it?
one look at you and run after you, I think.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. That's the best offer I've had all night.
Jimmy's charms seem to be working, but they might not get him out of this problem.
We could have arrested him. We chose not to do it that way, but we chose to take him to the nearest police station where we could actually interview him, other than take him into a custody block and arrest him.
You just stay there a minute, Jimmy. We'll be back in a minute.
Bollocks.
5 miles away, Jimmy, the 93-year-old gent who drove the wrong way along the motorway, is also being brought in. He's not under arrest, but the cops are concerned about his welfare.
That's it. There we go. You have to have some sort of sympathy for somebody like that. Hence the reason we treated him the way we did. We didn't sort of drag him out of the car. We didn't lock him up. We sort of treated him with respect that he deserved. Would you like a drink, a cup of tea or anything? Coffee? No, you're okay. Come on then.
However, PCs Clackett and Reynolds still have to get a statement from him to try to understand how he came to be driving the wrong way down the M40. Jimmy's son has joined them in the interview.
Right. Earlier on tonight, we stopped you on the M40. You were travelling southbound on the northbound carriageway. Did you realise that you were travelling on the wrong side of the carriageway when you were going north on the southbound?
I did. Yes, I would, of course. I was just doing what everybody else seems to do.
Did you not think it was dangerous at the time?
There can be danger to it.
Did you not think about stopping and turning round when you realised that you were on the wrong side?
It would have been difficult to cross the road from where I was to the other road.
Do you normally use a motorway?
If and when necessary.
Yeah.
I've not been on the motorway itself as such today. Unless you call this a motorway.
Yeah, that was the motorway that you were on tonight.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you not know that?
I would have had some difficulty in describing it as a motorway, but some people would, I suppose.
He wouldn't normally go on a motorway.
No.
He's gone on the motorway by mistake.
No, I did realise that I was going against traffic coming in the other direction.
I don't think you knew where you were going.
Just think you got confused, didn't you?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I did feel sorry for him, but at the same time, what he did was extremely dangerous and could have caused somebody else's death or even his own. He's elderly, he wants to keep his independence by driving.
But that independence is now hanging in the balance.
I think you should give it some serious consideration as to whether you should carry on driving. It's something for you to have a chat with Ted about.
Yeah. Car is important to me on the for shopping.
I appreciate that,
Yeah.
but your health and your life is far more important. It's a difficult decision to make at your age to hang up the keys. Swansea might decide to sort of take the matter out of your hands by revoking your licence. You've had a very lucky escape tonight.
When
you drove down the motorway the wrong way.
The decision to hang up the keys is a tough one, but one supported by Jimmy's son, Ted.
It would be most sensible if he didn't drive again. You know, you're either safe to drive or you're not safe to drive. And if you're not safe to drive, then I think it's very sensible that you don't.
Jimmy's finally on his way home safe and sound, as a passenger.
Use the door and I've got the door.
The elderly aren't legally required to hang up their keys, but they do have to reapply for their licence when they reach 70 years of age and supply a statement of health. But PC Clackett thinks additional legislation should be considered.
But I think it might be worth putting in another test, possibly, for, say, somebody who's 70, 75, just to make sure they're still up to scratch and aware of what's happening around them whilst they're driving. You can get people who are 90 who are fully aware of what they're doing when they're driving, so why should they have to surrender the licence? As if they're fully capable of passing this test, then they can carry on.
Jimmy, the 93-year-old man who drove the wrong way down the motorway, had his licence withdrawn by the DVLA. Traffic cops are drawn to the job from all walks of life, many from the armed services. PC Phil Mann used to be in the Navy before making a sea change.
I was a submariner. I lived on a submarine for about 3 months at a time. It was fantastic, I loved it. You go to sea, you're single, you've got no mortgage, you don't have to wash, you don't have to clean yourself, you don't have to worry about bills or letters, and there's no women. But it's a cocoon, and it is great.
He swapped a life under the ocean waves for a life on the open road.
I love cars, petrol head. I just like the adrenaline, like dealing with incidents with cars, and it's always mobile, and you've got to find it, you've got to hunt it down, and that's why I like traffic, because you become a hunter.
Yeah, sorry, what do you want me to do with it?
Today's prey is what the cops call a misper, who's lost his bearings.
Yeah, see, have we got any local mispers fitting Doddery?
A misper is a missing person, but they've turned it into misper to save themselves some time, energy and effort in saying missing person.
The misper is an old-age pensioner who's been reported lost by his wife.
And I think there he is.
The man's chancing his arm on the A23. It's one of the busiest roads in the whole of Sussex.
And he really should be doing it for his own safety and that of... Oh, chap, do you want to stay there? Hello? Do you want to come down to the passenger side first?
I love my loudspeaker. That's the best part of the kit, that is.
Hello, mate. Do you want to sit in here for us? It's a bit safer for you.
I can't hear what you're
Do
saying.
you want to have a seat, chap?
Before?
Because this is a really busy road and I don't want you getting run over.
No, I'm all right.
Where are you going to?
I'm just going down to Brighton.
You go to Brighton?
Yeah.
What, you
well,
walking?
not far to Brighton, but
Oh, right, how far?
about halfway.
About halfway to Brighton.
Anyway, I'm going.
Oh, no.
It's 20 miles all the way to Brighton.
On that road, you kill yourself, because it's a 3-lane A road. People treat it as a motorway. There's no hard shoulder for him to walk on. If he'd have slipped and fallen, he'd be dead.
I can't let you walk on a road, chap.
I'm not walking in the road.
You'll hurt yourself, all right. Where are you going to? There's a safer road that side. If you want to walk to Brighton, I'll take you to the little road on the side.
Yeah?
Not on a dual carriageway,
I'm
mate.
all right,
No. Put it this way. If you don't do as
Leave me
you're
alone.
told.
I'm not hurting you.
I know. I'm concerned about your safety. Where have you come from?
I'm Crawley.
From Crawley. Where are you going to?
Look, can I just move? I'm not
No, you
hurting
can't.
you. I'm not doing any
I'm
trouble.
not going to let you go in a minute. You're endangering yourself and other road users, mate.
I'm not doing
are.
stuff. I'm just going here.
I'll get my car, take you to the next slip road and we'll get you off this bit of road, all right? No, listen.
Leave me alone, mate.
Right.
He was angry. Initially, he was trying to block me. He was just trying to keep walking.
Yeah, at this time, I'm just trying to convince him to get in my car at this time. OK. You're not known, you're not wanted. You are free to roam, OK? However, not on my A-class road, you're not. Oh. All right, so come on, get in the car and I'll take you to the service station.
The man hasn't broken the law.
People can walk on an A road. If they're stupid or mad or got really good reasons to walk on the road. I could assess from him straight away that he had no good reason to.
The old man's getting a ride home with the old Bill.
So what made you want to walk to Brighton today then?
I had a row with my wife. I said, I can't stand no more of this. I just can't stand no more. And I said, I'm going. I can't stand more for this. But she said, I'll go then. I said, right. And that's what I did.
But when women say go, they don't necessarily mean it.
He's a human. He's had a bit of a bad day, very bad day by all accounts. You don't sympathise with him. You empathise because who hasn't been there? We've all been there. We've all walked out of the house and thought, that's it, I've had enough.
Back in Crawley, the Misper is going to be home in time for tea.
How long have you been married?
But not before PC Man hears all about his troubles and strife.
How long have you been married then?
50 years next year.
50?
50.
You've done well.
Yeah.
She's probably worried sick about you.
Probably.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
That's all right, I'll help you out.
He was somebody who just had a bit of a problem with his partner and decided to vacate the house and deal with it in his own way of walking, a bit like Forrest Gump was.
We found him walking up the A23. Obviously that's quite dangerous. Look after him.
Yeah, thank you
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
A policeman's life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
I joined traffic not to get involved in marital domestic disputes. I've done my share of that. 7 years I've done of that. Drop them off home, as long as they're not killing each other, committing any offences, leave them there.
The sun and the sea make Sussex a mecca for people looking for somewhere to retire. With one of the largest populations of elderly people of any county in Britain, the traffic cops here have a unique challenge. PC's Tony Omatoso and Simon Dove are patrolling the Brighton end of the A23. They know a senior driving moment when they see one.
We saw a vehicle that was in front of us appearing to change lanes without warning. It's an interesting manoeuvre, isn't it?
A quick surf on the network and all will be revealed.
As we've got MDT, mobile data terminals in the vehicles now, we can conduct vehicle checks for insurance, registered keeper, and if we have certain details, we can check licences as well.
Full substantive licence, born in 1929.
Yeah,
it's Mr. Brian.
Yeah.
How's that making then?
80.
80 years old. Licence expiry March 2011.
Yeah, that would explain things.
Blue lights and sirens, blues and twos from behind are normally the signal for the driver to pull over.
Oh, goodness.
I haven't got a clue.
Totally oblivious.
Completely oblivious probably to us being behind him with the blue lights going off.
But this motorist has other plans.
Where's he going now?
He has no idea where he's going, does he really?
At last, he's pulled over.
Put your handbrake on, sir. There we go. Just turn your engine off for me. So I'll just step out your vehicle onto the pavement, sir. Step around here, sir. It's a bit safer there. Don't get clipped by a car or anything. Okay, the reason we stopped you, sir, is initially we've seen you in the near side lane behind a lorry.
Oh, the mixer.
That's it, the mixer lorry, yeah. You've then moved out to the centre lane.
Yeah.
As a vehicle had already moved over from the outside lane into that centre lane. It was very close to you hitting the front of his vehicle.
Oh, sorry, I didn't.
Were you aware of that vehicle there?
I thought he was further back or not going as fast as what he was probably.
Right, so you were aware it was there, were you?
I was aware there was one coming, but not, to
right.
a degree of power.
Okay, that's classed as basically a bit of careless driving. Okay, because obviously, there was almost
I'm sorry about
almost a bit of a collision.
Yeah.
And obviously then, as a result of that, we followed you off, You were aware we were behind you at any time?
I saw a police car coming, and then when you put your lights on, you said, oh, you wanted to go by, you were going to...
No, we wanted you to pull over into the lay-by by the bus stop.
And then you didn't, so that's why I carried on. Sorry about that.
No.
I misunderstood what you were trying to do.
Okay.
And then you start thinking, well, maybe we've got a problem with the gent's eyesight now. It needs a bit of further investigation.
Hey, do you want to set up a quick eyesight test?
The traffic cops have the power to test any driver's eyesight they suspect isn't up to scratch and ban them from the road.
You're going to be conducted, you go under caution, OK, that anything's said during it.
Yeah.
OK, so I'm just going to caution you at the moment. You didn't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence, so you don't mention in question something you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence.
All right.
OK.
The motorist pulled over by the traffic cops on the A23 is being put through the same procedure. But for him, it's compulsory.
Stand on where this blue mark is, where the blue thing is here.
Yeah.
Let them read the number plate at the back of our police vehicle.
An entry, nothing after that.
Not fully, no. Because I can pick out those two numbers. I think I pick out an 8.
Yeah.
A 0.
Yeah.
The other and a 2.
Right.
But not quite any others.
OK, just walk forward a little bit further till you sort of get an accurate reading of it.
Yeah.
When you're happy.
Okay.
Can you read it yet?
GX08K. I'm still not sure about that one, but it's a T on the end.
Right, no, it's not a T on the end. Come forward a little bit further then.
KFY.
KFY. Yeah. OK, can you read it all off to me now?
GXOL KFY.
OK, you got any chalk there? I've got to put a mark there.
370.
The man can only read the number at roughly half the distance of that required in the eyes of the law.
We're looking at, over 10 metres distance shorter than what he should have been, so that's quite concerning, really. I've been a road policing officer for 9 years, and I've probably in that period maybe had 2 or 3 that have failed the roadside test that bad. And a majority of people that I test will pass it with no problems at all.
The man's going to be reported to the court about his driving and to the DVLA about his eyesight. He's looking at having his licence revoked.
One thing, will I be able to drive home?
That's the issue, sir, because I don't really want you driving any further at the moment. What I'd quite happily do, I'd quite happily drive you in your vehicle down to Downsview Road so you can get to your friend's house. I know obviously your car's your independence and it gets you out and about, but at the same time I've got a responsibility to make sure it's safe for other people about on the road, sir.
I genuinely think that people should retake another test at 70 because some people won't even have ever actually taken a test. They've got grandfather rights from driving during the war, but things have changed so much now. There's a lot more vehicles. Sadly, some of the traffic is moving a lot quicker than that it did before. And sometimes I feel that some elderly people are maybe not equipped to deal with the amount and the speed of modern day traffic.
I've only got 2 cousins and they live miles away. This lady I was going to pick up this morning, so that's my only friend, that I've got locally.
We didn't want him driving that car, knowing what we've just witnessed. So we took him and the vehicle to his destination.
A lot of elderly people don't want to give up their entitlement to drive. They don't want to hang up their driving gloves. But at the end of the day, if you're not up to the standard, your eyesight to drive, then you shouldn't be on the road, full stop.
In a now sparkling Volvo V70, they're heading east across the A3M.
Damage RTC in Emsworth.
Mike Echo 14, we're at junction 2 A3M. Why do they need us? Is the road blocked?
She said he sounded like he was drunk and he's gone into a house further down the road.
There we are.
A suspected drunk driver has done a runner after crashing into another vehicle.
And notified off road.
We get there, find the aggrieved party. They've got a nice big dent and scrape down the side of their car. How long ago was this?
10 minutes ago. Did he stop and speak to you? Yeah, some
Well, he opened the window, said, well, he sounded drunk or something like that, or
right.
or something. But He didn't want to give us his details, and I think it says we mentioned police. He drove up and
told us it was our
ran
fault.
ran into his house.
It was literally about 10 metres up the road, so they were known to the people that they collided with as well.
The damaged car is easy to find, but where's the driver?
Dealing with this incident up in Conager Road, we're just going to check on the house here if there's anybody at home.
Through the lounge window, I could see 2 figures, and they'd literally walked in front of my view. Maybe they saw me, maybe they heard me, and turned around and walked straight back out of my view.
Hello, it's the police. Can you open the door, please?
Nobody's answering, but the cops are positive someone's at home.
The TV was on, doors were locked, gates were locked. To all intents and purposes, you know, lights on inside. Somebody was in there.
I'm sure I'd heard someone tell the dog to be quiet.
Andy actually climbed over the garden gate, opened the gate, and we started to actually look around the back of the building to try and get in, because I'm too old to climb gates now.
Got it?
Yeah.
Right. Just leave that there for the minute.
It seems this is a driver who has something to conceal from the cops.
I'll get a glimpse of somebody in there, then I'll go in.
There was definitely 2. When we first turned up and we looked through, there was 2 people. By this window here, I could see directly straight through 2 shadows.
Right.
I made further inquiries with the neighbour, and the neighbour had heard them literally minutes ago. So there was even more confirmation that there were people inside the address.
It's warm, it's obviously just been running.
Before they break into the house, O'Connor and Jocelyn have to be sure that it is the owner of the car hiding inside. So they're looking for something that links car, driver and house.
This is for Ernest Miller. That was the RO, wasn't it? For the vehicle. Miller, wasn't it? Tablets. Ernest Miller was definitely the RO from the caravan park.
RO means registered owner. It's the link they needed. In Emsworth, backup for PC's O'Connor and Jocelyn has arrived.
Don't want it. There's a little dog in there as well, a little ankle biter. So what, I'll go in and have a little chat with him, shall I? Yeah? Yeah, we'll have a snap at the back window and have a little chat.
There was a rear window was slightly open, and I was hoping I was going to be able to open that window and climb through.
Mr. Miller. Okay, that's it.
Unfortunately, it came right off in my hands. But he should have answered the door.
Age before beauty.
Something like that.
I think in the right way I put Chris in first. We went into the bedroom and a double bed with the duvets pulled over 2 lumps of figures, and they were both half naked in their underwear pretending to have been asleep.
Right, out the bed, you're under arrest.
Out now. Put some clothes on.
Get out of the bed. We've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've been drink driving. Why didn't you respond to all the calls I gave you through the front door, back window?
We've been asleep.
Right, yeah, okay.
He was not sort of the youngest of people, he was in his 60s. Normally you expect most people of that age not necessarily to put up any resistance, to be quite compliant.
I've been in all this before in my life.
Okay then.
At the end of the day, I don't care.
All we need you to do...
I want to go to the toilet.
Right,
I
okay.
still, if I got an amount of drink in me, it'd still be there anyway.
Right, so you admit to have been drinking, yeah?
No.
Right, okay, I think that was an admission. We've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've been drink driving and that you've failed to stop at the scene of an accident. Stop calling me a
Yeah, you are.
Right.
What's your first name? David George.
Right.
Hello, babe. All right,
He was blowing hot and cold. One minute he was, yeah, okay, I'm fine, I won't cause you any problems. Then he started to get aggressive and start to push you around a little bit and shout and swear. But that's the nature of alcohol.
Very interesting. He was in there in bed with his partner, and as we came in said that they've been asleep continuously. No alcohol in the house whatsoever, so we know they haven't drunk when they've come back in. Stated they've been in bed since 5. Witnesses next door said that they heard them half an hour ago, so we get statements from them, statements that they were driving, they're denying all of it. And he's blown a positive breath test, so arrested going through. When I came in, I didn't have any expectations of traffic at all. I just had the idea that I'd come and do my week's traffic and then get out of it as quickly as possible. I absolutely loved every day of my attachment. It was brilliant.
Despite claiming that they're at home in bed all afternoon, the suspected drink driver is going to be taken into custody.
No one wants to get caught if they've done something wrong. Some people have got the decency and honesty to own up and say, yeah, I got it wrong, I'll come with you, we'll sort it out. Unfortunately, Mr. Miller, on that evening, because of all the drink he'd had, thought the best bet was to try and hide. It didn't work for him.
At Waterlooville, today's other sleeping driver is being breathalyzed.
That's it, lovely, keep going. He was a fool. I mean, to actually be lying in bed pretending he's asleep when people are bashing on the door. Well done. I know it's hard work, isn't it? Even when a window's being ripped off and 2 police officers jumping through this window, he still pretends he's asleep. It's a real nonsense. Unfortunately, it is Ernest. Your lowest reading is 65, and the highest reading is 72. So we'd use the 65, and the legal limit is 35. So you're 30 units above what you should be.
It ain't no good me saying what I want to say, but not to the police, but to the person that was driving on the other side of the road. The back end was over the line. If her back end wasn't over there, there's no way in the world I would have hit her.
Even in his mind, even when he's drunk, he still believed he was right.
Today, PC's Al Coleman and Kevin Whitehouse are in the centre of Birmingham, just beginning their 12-hour shift. Before they have time to get out to the busy M6, they spot their first dodgy-looking car of the day.
Oh, that one. Look at that one. I'll tell you that one is. That's a report on that. Mike Alpha, Oscar Tango 12, code 2 vehicle check, please over. And it was quite a distinctive car. It was an older type car. On the whole, I've always been obviously been traffic orientated, been fairly good with registration numbers. Must have been one of my better days.
MOT expires today. The tax has expired. And there's the information report.
Yeah, this vehicle's just come past us. We've carried out some checks on it. It's got no tax, no insurance, no MOT. So obviously we need to speak to the chap to verify his details and see what documents he has got for the vehicle. Pull over.
Since 2006, the police have had the power to seize cars being driven without tax and insurance. So this driver has some explaining to do.
Hello, sir. Hello. Just want to step out of the vehicle for me this side, please. See the tax disc.
06.
PC Coleman's first impression of the car isn't a good one.
My term for what I say a car in that condition, it's a shared. And it clearly was a shared. It just shouldn't have been on the road. It looked like it shouldn't have been on the road.
Well, this looks like somebody had to go with your tyres.
So he's had to go with your tyres? What's your name, please?
Roger Young.
Roger Young?
Roger Young.
Have you got any ID with you at all, Mr Young?
I haven't at all.
Nothing at all? I'd already done the check on the police national computer to see who the car was registered to. That doesn't always mean that he's still the owner or he's going to be the driver. So I had an idea from the report that it may be driven by a certain person. This is your vehicle, is it?
No, I borrowed this actually.
You borrowed it? You borrowed it?
My name's John Biddulph.
Right, OK. Start again then. You're Mr?
John Biddulph.
Right, so why did you tell me you were somebody else?
Because I've got no tax on the vehicle.
Yeah. What else? You got any insurance?
I think my wife might have his insured.
OK. We've had a quick check on the computer. It says you've got no tax, no insurance, no MOT. So obviously we need to speak to you about those. Do you want to come have a seat in the back of the car and we'll sort all this?
Grab my phone.
But just leave it for now, it'll be fine in there. Just leave it.
Well, I need it actually.
Why's that?
Just in case.
Just in case what?
I could immediately see we've got a character here.
With questions over the insurance, expired tax and MOT, it's not looking good for the driver.
His tax disc says 3 years out of date.
But PC Coleman is trying to look on the bright side.
This for this car though, so I'll give him his due.
As he continues his inspection, PC Whitehouse begins the questioning.
Do you have a driving licence, do you?
Technically, yes.
Right. Why'd you say technically?
Because I got banned about 30 years ago and I haven't reapplied because I object to paying 85 quid for a licence. When, as you know yourself,
yeah.
There's probably 500,000 people in this country at least that have got a licence and cannot drive.
Yeah.
I take a pride in my driving. What does a licence mean?
But it's not just his licence and tax that are past the sell-by date. Outside, PC Coleman is taking a closer look at those tyres.
The rear tyre is very dangerous. The front tyre is quite low on grip. And these road conditions, it's not going to be very good for braking or the handling of the vehicle.
I'm a careful driver.
Yeah.
Because when I've got no insurance, I've got to look out for everybody else. And around where I live, I mean, the Asians, I'm not racist at all, but they cannot drive. They've not got a clue, and they've probably got driving licences. And I really resent this, that if people are allowed on the road, they cannot drive.
A little bit shocked at what he said, you know, where he's making comments about other people's, and he needs to look a bit closer to home, really.
You see it yourself every day.
We see a lot of people that don't. We see a lot of instances of bad driving, and we have to question how people have got a licence. But at the end of the day, if someone has taken a test and passed it to the required standard, then it's down to the driver's standards.
The standards are not high enough.
But he clearly doesn't think those driving standards apply to his car.
You can see the tyre's quite old. It's starting to split and
I hadn't noticed this.
perish, they call it.
But I definitely
Same
would
as the
have
front
noticed
one.
them things, them cuts, so I would have noticed them.
Yeah.
I think somebody must have done that.
No, they haven't. That's the tyre actually beginning to break apart.
You know, I didn't realise that.
Okay.
The driver knows that he's broken the law, but he just doesn't see that it's a problem.
I ain't doing anybody harm.
Yes, you are, because
I've never had an accident. It's been my fault in my life, you know.
Yeah, but it's going to happen because you're driving a vehicle on a road with no licence, no insurance, no MOT, so it's unroadworthy, no tax.
Yeah.
Shall I go on? Bald tyre. That's 5. Might run out of fingers in a minute. So you are doing some people some harm because you're doing people harm that have to pay their insurance, you're doing people harm that have to pay their tax. So you are doing harm. So you're an offender on the road.
As the cops continue to tot up the charges, back in Birmingham city centre, PC's Al Coleman and Kevin Whitehouse are also trying to get to the bottom of it all by finding out more about their disgruntled driver and his checkered past.
John, you've got the record from DVLA is coming back as an expired substantive licence, which means at some stage you've passed your test in the past.
Yes.
But your entitlements have expired. So, as you say, you may have been disqualified. You haven't reapplied for your licence. Not having reapplied for it means you don't have a licence, basically. You obviously don't have insurance, there's no MOT, no tax.
With a growing list of offences, there's only one possible outcome for the car.
What's going to happen in view of that is we're going to seize the vehicle, as I think you're probably aware.
Yeah.
It will be recovered, we'll give you the documentation. Will you be reclaiming the vehicle?
I'm not sure.
OK. Well, we'll give you all the documentation, it's your option, but obviously the longer you leave it in, it incurs storage charges.
It's 150 quid.
Racketing is some fat get sitting on their arse getting money for nothing.
So no, you're not claiming the vehicle back?
I'm not sure. No reply to that one then. Okay. How's that?
Well, I've got to tick yes or no. It's in my box, I've got to tick it.
Put yes for now.
How's that one, no reply?
OK.
You can't force me to say yes or no.
Well, it's up to you. If you don't get it in 7 days, it'll be scrapped, OK?
No reply.
With all your stuff in it.
No reply.
While PC Coleman ticks his boxes, the phone the driver was so keen to hang on to has come in handy.
Oh, Joe, I've nicked me. I'm in the police car at the moment. Can you come and pick me up? Because I was going to obviously tow the car and there's got a bit of stuff in the car I want. All right, Bab. See you later. Bye. Good job I got my bus pass with me, innit?
The driver could be facing 6 points on his licence, or he would if he had one, but it seems he just doesn't know when to throw in the towel.
Technically, I haven't got a licence, even though I've passed my test. What does a licence mean? That you've passed the test, basically. It doesn't mean that you can drive. You reach a required standard at some time. So my bone of contention is, why should I pay £85 to get my licence back when it doesn't mean anything at all to me?
Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but at the end of the day, he seems to have a gripe against authority. He doesn't see why he should pay money to get his licence back, having been disqualified some time ago.
Well, people that do recover this vehicle never done a day's work in their life. Somebody that owns the company that takes this, he's probably got a yacht in the Bahamas, and he's never done a tap in his life. This I disagree with.
In the UK, almost 24,000 uninsured cars are seized by the police every year. Today, there'll be one less on the streets of Birmingham.
You know, at the end of the day, we all have to pay tax, insurance, MOT, maintain our vehicles in roadworthy condition. So, you know, it's a case of, well, we have to do it, so, you know, you're certainly going to do it.
Anyway, bye for now. See you later.
With one less wreck on the roads, the driver is left to make his own way home. PCs Ian Skingsley and Alex Tack from the Totton traffic base are on the busy M27. They've noticed a car in a very vulnerable spot that has stopped and could be in trouble.
On the eastbound carriageway, we've passed it on the westbound carriageway. Car was just stationary on the hard shoulder. So we've turned around at the next junction, pulled up behind it as we normally do. I've got up, walked up to the car, up to the passenger side, expecting to see people on the phones, you know, making phone calls because they've had a crash.
Open the door. Hello there. Right, okay. Good idea to stop. If you're feeling tired, I like that. Stopping on the motorway and going to sleep is not the thing to do.
There are a few reasons to stop on the hard shoulder. What they were doing wasn't one of them. By all accounts, the driver had left Bournemouth, I think, and just had a bit of a mighty brunch.
Sleep.
Sorry?
Both asleep.
No reason for sleeping.
Well, you felt tired. Felt tired.
Right, it's about as far as I can get in.
Can you not shut the door?
No, it's all right, though.
We've not been here long. 5 minutes.
Stopping on the hard shoulder is...
it's a no-no, yeah.
It's a no-no, it's an offence, and it's dangerous.
Yeah, sure, we get.
Okay.
Oh, it's part of it, yeah.
Exactly.
I do know this.
Yeah.
As I say, I just...
Have you got your driving licence on you at all?
It's right buried deep in the back of my car.
When I pulled in, I said to him, oh, blimey, are you all right? And he said, no, he said, my eyes are dropping. He said, it's getting dangerous, I better pull over.
It's 3 points and a £6 fine. Okay.
And the other reason that I stop, I've had a hip replacement and I like to stretch my leg. So, you know, that was the other reason.
Having a kip on the hard shoulder is a rare offence, so Tack has to double-check the penalty tariff.
Well, that's good for you. It's actually £30.
Slightly better news for you.
It's £30 and no points.
All right.
£30 and no points.
Yeah, that's a better deal, isn't it?
Yeah.
How tired do you feel now?
No, I feel fine now.
How long have you been there, do you know?
About 5-10 minutes.
Hey, you don't pay us now, mate.
Oh, you don't?
No, we don't deal with money in here.
Oh, I see. Well,
Causes all sorts of problems. No, you send off your money.
Okay.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye. See it all, don't you?
But obviously, it's not just, you know, that's not just happened, has it?
Just no.
The tyre, the tyre.
I mean, I've checked the tyres this morning.
So you're saying that wasn't like that this morning?
No.
Hello, sir.
Even those who thought they could ignore the seatbelt laws were in for a shock.
Have you any idea why I may have stopped you?
No.
You're not wearing your seatbelt.
You took it off.
Right, do you want to come and have a seat in the back of the car? So we've got a video in the car and I can clearly show that you weren't wearing it. Do you want to sit in the back, sir?
During 2002, South Yorkshire's traffic cops issued 4,500 tickets to people who didn't wear seatbelts.
Yeah, you see, you're not wearing it, look.
Have you took it off?
Now, well, let me show you. Here. I'll zoom the camera in, look, and there's no seatbelt there, look. No belt, look. There's no belt, sir. OK. No, you haven't.
I think the public image of traffic officers is quite a bad one because they see us as the ones that issue ticket for no seat belts, speeding, using mobile phones.
In Sheffield, PC Scothan and his new trousers are once again on patrol, in the right place at the right time. A brand new red Volvo heading out of the city without a rear number plate.
What's no more interested in the Volvo that's got no number plates on it?
The way it's pulled over suggests it hasn't been stolen.
It could just laid down in the back.
Hello there. Number plate missing on the back.
Yeah.
Yes. Is there any reason for it, or has it been ripped off?
Pulled it off.
A monkey pulled it off.
Went to the safari park. So you were getting fitted on Wednesday, mate.
A monkey pulled it. Okay. Obviously, the reason why I've stopped you is because you're not displaying a plate. Very expensive car.
Yeah.
Hate to think, I couldn't see you were driving. Hate to think that someone was either nicked it or whatever. Where is the plate itself? Missing.
Would you believe the monkey ran about? No, the safari park, mate.
Right. I mean, there are lines we could go down to make sure you get it fixed, but I'm going to take you. It's a new car, I can see that. It's a red lease car. I'm use my discretion and let you carry on.
PC Scothen thought he'd seen and heard everything. Until now.
Don't you just, I mean, you just love that, don't you? I mean, like, there's no reason to disbelieve that guy at all because the pins on the number plate are still in. Oh dear. There was a park, his monkey's destroying his brand new C70 Volvo, 36 grand worth of car. It's getting destroyed.
Back on the A1, Carl and Nathan have got a difficult decision to make. Is it, or is it not, time to take tea?
As we're here and it's that sort of time.
Are you thinking Junction 10?
Well, I'm thinking going slightly north of Junction 10, yes.
Maybe to an establishment where he's renowned for providing the filth with coffee.
British Petroleum, Inksworth.
Do you know what, mate? I'm going to turn my rear ends off first.
Should we do that?
And then I'm going to say, I like you. I like your thinking. Do you know that?
Not a lot. I love the way your foul little mind
I shall call you Mini-Me.
Oh. But all of a sudden, there's a googly in the works.
Look at that, just straight out and at 40 miles an hour.
It's another driver with a speed problem, but if this one's a cricketer, he must be the slow bowler in the team.
He was only doing around 35 to 40 miles an hour.
He's either distracted, we're doing 30 miles an hour, pissed, or Charlie.
When you see someone driving that slowly on a fairly quiet motorway, it's going through your mind, oh, we've got a drink driver here. He didn't speed up. And whilst, we go on that speed kills, unfortunately, sometimes driving too slowly can cause collisions.
The driver's going to be pulled over to see just what his game is.
Are you Kenneth?
Yes.
All right, just step over here for me for a second. The reason we've stopped you is just because of your lack of speed. I know it might sound like a strange thing. You're doing 30 to 40 miles an hour coming up the slip road and enjoying a motorway at 40 miles an hour.
Well, I very seldom drive on motorways. I haven't been drinking.
All right. Have you got a driving licence with you?
No, but I've got ID. What's my ID?
Please.
It's not just the young and speedy that are drawn to the attention of the cops. Kenneth is 69, not out.
This is the first time in 69 years that I've ever been stopped by the police. This is an experience.
Well, you can note this one down.
Okay.
Right, what's your date of birth?
23rd 11th 1941. It was a Sunday.
23rd 11th.
Whittington Hospital, St Mary's.
41.
During an air raid.
Oh.
That explains a lot, doesn't it?
Didn't get hit while you were being born.
No. My mum was worried though, apparently.
The person I thought he reminded me of, and it was more the glasses than anything, is Ruben out of Ocean's 11, the casino chap, 1970s sort of disco type bloke.
What, you just checking on me, see if I'm legit?
Yeah.
I've
got to be honest with you, Kenneth. We thought you might have had a drink or two because of the speed.
No.
Or lack of it.
No.
When I first spoke to him, I still thought we've probably got a drink driver here because he was a little bit way. But that's obviously just his way.
Extraordinarily, Kenneth's been done for pace before,
points.
For speeding. 37
no way.
miles an hour. Yeah, 37. I don't have accidents.
We'll do a little bit more than 40 mile an hour on the motorway.
50?
Just
55? That's top whack.
Okay. Well, whatever you're comfortable with, but joining at 40 miles an hour is likely to cause something. Not so much now because it's a bit quieter, but if you're doing it with any traffic,
No,
all right.
I can appreciate that. But
Okay.
there's nothing on the roads like
I know.
this here.
Right.
Because people can't afford the petrol. I
Right,
might save up for
that's
this
why
trip.
you're saving up. Well,
he's doing more.
Yeah, there you go. He's making up for you.
If everyone we dealt with was like that, our job would be so much easier.
It's 7 p.m. and Birmingham's rush hour traffic has been brought to a standstill. PC's Jess Davis and Al Coleman are fighting their way through it to get to a serious accident on the busy Aston Expressway.
When we started approaching the scene, there was nowhere to go. We were struggling to make our way through traffic. It was just a sea of red lights.
This 2-mile stretch of motorway is unusual because there's no central barrier separating the opposing carriageways. There is, however, a no-go buffer lane.
The reason the buffer lane changes day to day is from what they call the tidal flow. So in the morning, you have more lanes opening into city, at rush hour traffic, and the opposite on the evening. That's why there's no central barrier down the middle.
But no central barrier means that a head-on collision between the fast-moving traffic is much more likely. And as they arrive, the motorway cops fear the worst.
It's a massive scene. It's looking serious at the moment. I don't know the ins and outs of injuries.
The multiple pile-up involves a BMW, a Mini, and a Jaguar.
When I saw both the Jaguar and the Mini, both those cars were extensively damaged. It was quite clear to me that there'd been a head-on collision, and I actually thought there would be a number of fatalities from both vehicles.
The fire crews are preparing to cut out 2 injured passengers who were trapped in the wreck of the Jaguar. 2 people were in the Mini, and they've already been freed, but the news isn't good.
They're both in the ambulance now. I've also been informed that one of the females within the Mini is it's looking like it could turn into a fatality. It hasn't at the moment, but there's a potential. She's a very elderly female.
A passenger from the BMW is also injured, but fortunately it's not serious, and Al's giving what assistance he can.
Do you feel any pain anywhere at all?
My shoulder, my arm, and my head, just pounding.
Can you wiggle your fingers, can you?
I can this one's
Not so hard,
to move.
quite hard today. Feel that? No? Just have a little look, all right? Can you recall whether you knocked your arm or your arm was hit at all?
I don't remember.
No, remember. All right, mate. So she's got numbness down the back of her neck. She can't wiggle the fingers very well on this arm here, which she's holding in her comfortable position. Can't feel her toes, which I think is probably cold. She's a little bit in shock.
While Al briefs the paramedic, Jess begins the investigation into what happened.
Are you a witness?
I'm the driver of the car.
Has anyone taken your details or
Yeah,
spoken?
gentleman has, yeah.
Is that that's your car there?
Yeah.
The roof of the man's Jaguar has now been cut away by the fire crews so they can try to free the injured backseat passengers.
That car's come across that carriageway into the front of us.
What, the Mini has?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Mini was the one driving the wrong way?
Yeah.
Right.
We were in the middle
Right.
lane, and then suddenly there's 2 headlights in front of you. There's just nowhere to go, is there?
No.
It seems that the Mini has veered right across the buffer lane into the opposite carriageway.
The Aston Expressway is a safe motorway. And that's more than likely due to the fact that the speed limit's 50 miles per hour, and they have that buffer lane in the middle.
Even at 50 miles an hour, a head-on crash is highly dangerous, despite having cars with modern crash protection.
Your seat belts and your restraint systems may hold you in the car, your body physically, but the problem that you have, everything else keeps moving within inside your body. And to survive an accident like that is quite rare.
The driver of the BMW has been lucky to escape injury. He's being breathalyzed as a precaution, but so far it doesn't appear he's to blame.
I think the back end swung round as he hit the car head on, and we went straight into him.
While the injured woman from his car is taken to hospital with a suspected broken collarbone, the fire crew are still battling to free the 2 passengers trapped inside the Jaguar.
I get really worried about people. We're human beings just like everybody else. You can see people who are in terrible pain. You see other casualties where you start to think, oh, I don't even know if they're going to survive this.
On the Aston Expressway in Birmingham, the 2 injured passengers have finally been removed from the wreck of the Jaguar.
In my experience, I've been on the motorway for 10 years or so. It's one of the worst scenes I've seen on the expressway. And I have to say, people say, well, it's always going to happen on the expressway because there's no centre reservation. This is a very, very rare accident on the expressway where somebody actually has a head-on.
Inspector Mark Fullwood is in charge of the crash scene and has been waiting for news of the critically injured woman who was rushed to hospital over an hour ago.
Yeah, I've just received an update from my officers at the hospital. Unfortunately, the female passenger from the Mini, she was rushed into theatre, but unfortunately she has passed away. So now we are treating this as a fatal collision investigation, and we'll do our utmost to find out the cause of the collision.
The scene will now be preserved until a collision investigation team has gathered enough evidence to enable them to work out the sequence of events. Witness accounts and photographs will be used to build a picture of just what happened. The investigation will be helped by the roadside cameras which have caught the whole incident on tape. As the Mini crosses the buffer lane, one lucky car driver has time to avoid it, but the Jaguar driver has no chance to react as the Mini heads directly towards him. The Jaguar was being driven by Paul Hills.
It was quite busy, but traffic was moving well into town, and suddenly this car appeared. The last thing I saw was 2 headlights, and that was it. We couldn't go left. I didn't have time to brake, do anything. We just took the impact, bang, and that was it.
The evidence from the CCTV is crucial because it reveals that at no point do the Mini's brake lights come on.
So it appeared that she hadn't even attempted to brake. Because the first thing you do in any sort of, your first natural instinct is to slam on the brakes. So we just couldn't begin to imagine why the driver hadn't done that.
One possibility is mechanical failure, but only by examining the wreckage can the cops hope to find out. And as the investigation continues into the night, more news comes in.
It appears from my latest update that the lady who's died is the mother of the driver.
I just felt really, really terrible for that female because she's lost her mum, and she's lost her mum in a situation where she was in control of that vehicle, behind the wheel of that vehicle.
In Birmingham, the cars involved in the multiple pile-up on the motorway are being examined by Al Coleman and Jess Davis.
Just had a little walk around the Mini, and just looking inside, you can see there's like a shopping bag with a couple of bottles of sparkly wine. It just hits home to you, really. Looking at the state of the car, sort of, it looks to me like, they've stopped off at the shops, they bought a couple of bottles of bubbly, perhaps having a girly night in, like, me and my mum do that every other week. It's quite sort of haunting to then look at that vehicle, especially when it's really mangled up and you know what the people in that vehicle went through and what the end result was.
One person died, but 7 people survived. The big question is, what caused the Mini to be in the wrong lane and crash head-on into the Jaguar?
On CCTV, when the vehicle goes across into the opposing carriageway, we can see that the brake lights aren't illuminated. So our suspicion is that possibly the brakes weren't applied. The brakes work. Just push real hard. So that's telling us that the brakes are actually working. If we can get power into the vehicle, we can check whether the brake lights actually apply. I think while we've got you here, we'll do that. Car's powered up, so if Jess presses the brake pedal, we'll see what happens. So the brake lights are working, so she never braked. Well, I think it's something medical now, I do. I think she's felt unwell. And in my personal opinion, I think she may have been unconscious when this vehicle was going across the carriageway, because she hasn't made any attempt to do the corrective steering or to apply the brakes.
As well as one fatality, 4 of the survivors were injured. But it could have been much worse.
Seat belts was the main reason why we had only one fatality in this accident.
In the Jaguar that night were Paul Hill, his wife, and 2 of their friends.
I'd only had the car for 3 weeks, and it was the first occasion that I'd had rear passengers in the car. And the reason they put the seatbelts on was the annoying buzzer, that prompts people to wear seatbelts that are usually fitted in the front, but on the Jag it was fitted in the rear as well.
Wearing those rear seatbelts undoubtedly saved their lives, and most likely the lives of those in the front too. Paul's wife Siobhan was in the back seat. Although she suffered severe bruising, these were the only injuries she received.
It makes you look at your own mortality, and you wake up thinking, yeah, it is good to be alive today. And I thank God for that every day, but since the accident, yes, more so than ever.
Time and time again, you'll stop someone for not wearing a seatbelt, you'll give them a ticket, they think it's beneath them, they think that, why should they have to pay a fine, they think it's petty, they just don't get the point that we're trying to make.
People get annoyed with us, if you've got nothing better to do, can you not just give me a warning? Well, this is the reason why I can't give you a warning, I'm afraid. This is the reason why I give you a £60 warning, because it's your life. It's your life that you're playing with. And if you're the rear seat passenger in a vehicle and you're not wearing your seatbelt, you're also playing with the life of the people in front that are driving the car and the passenger. You're playing with their lives as well.